Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Pisces, my friends, we are going to look to see how you can work towards success here. Regardless of what's going on in life, how can you get yourself moving towards some kind of success? What I'm going to do, I'm using two different oracle decks. So I'm going to start with the Wild Unknown oracle. And then, so that's going to be kind of like your overall energy, the overall energy of the reading. We'll just see. Like sometimes hold on. Stories come out just with these oracle cards, and then I'm going to go to my Archangel deck and kind of get like a message from something a little bit bigger than all of us to kind of start it going, to get it going. And then we're going to go into the tarot. I'm going to use the Good Tarot. Sorry, I was just looking at, I thought it was the Hermit, but it's Fortune's Wheel, which is like Wheel of Fortune. Not the game show. Although sometimes life feels like a game show, maybe, doesn't it? If you can solve this puzzle, you could win. It's like they keep changing the puzzle though, Cindy. I don't know. All right, so what I'm going to look at with the tarot is I'm going to look at obstacles that you are currently facing. How is this obstacle showing up in your life? Hidden factors that you are unaware of, and what you can do to get yourself to grow right now. So let's get started. It's a general reading, Pisces, so because of that, it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. So let's see. These have been interesting. Overall message, overall energy for Pisces. Overall message, overall energy for Pisces. Did like cartwheels. The golden egg. Wow. And the rabbit. Keep your eye out. That's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing keep your eye out. Okay. The golden egg, you saw it do like little cartwheels. Almost like it's tumbling towards you. I mean, I'm just getting that, like an egg that's just kind of like whoop, 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 down a hill. And a rabbit. Easter. I'm literally hearing Easter. So Easter, there's something to do with Easter for you. Something coming in with Easter. It's really funny. The rabbit and the golden egg. Now, there's a couple things coming in, and I'm just going to say them because I can't even link all the messages that come in sometimes. And like people will point things out and go, look at, you had all these cards coming out. That's exactly what's going on astrologically right now. So I'm not going to hold anything back. It's going to mean something to somebody. I'm getting something about like a Ukrainian egg. So something about the Ukraine. And then also why are rabbits associated with Easter? I don't know. I'm just, that's coming up in your reading. So there's whatever the significance is, or why, for whatever reason, rabbits are associated with Easter. There's a message there for you, and something to do with the Ukraine, because I'm just getting like, you know how they would do those really beautiful ornate decorations on the eggs, the Ukrainian Easter egg. I don't know enough about it to like elaborate. So I'm going to have to say I would, look that up a little bit and see if there's any meaning in that. The meaning that I got, okay, was that you are the rabbit, you're waiting for the golden egg, and it's kind of precariously tumbling towards you. There might even be something to do with the process that's involved with doing this, the Ukrainian eggs, that keeps the egg safe, that keeps the egg stronger. Because just thinking about it tumbling down a hill, you would think, wow, it could break, everything could break out in like Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Yeah. Because the golden egg represents something that's here right now. Something that's here in your world, in your 3D right now, but it's kind of at a distance from you, and it's precariously working its way to you. That's interesting. Now I'm also hearing, because this came out, and this is the underline, is that you are a golden egg. You are a golden egg, and you are tumbling precariously towards someone here, or something. Some sort of opportunity that needs you, that wants you, that hopes for you, that can build with you. This golden egg is the culmination of thoughts and ideas, hopes and feelings that kind of start out as, you know, the beginnings of a manifestation process. And then we go through different levels of, you know, really deciding, do we really want to do this? Why do I want to do this? What is it that I see for myself in this? Like, and then that's kind of like the black egg, the deep inner truth that we work through. Cosmic, black, and the golden egg. And here it is. So because of that, it's coming in two ways, that there's a golden egg rolling towards you, or you are a golden egg rolling towards something. That feels a little bit stronger, like you are. There's something waiting for you. You probably hear my son laughing. I can tell he's on a break because he's doing online learning. So when the teacher's on, it's like, it's so quiet. I walked in the room to give him a snack, and I felt really bad for the teacher. There was like, I don't know, 21, 22 blank screens. Nobody had their cameras on. And there was 2 that did. Just thought, oh my God. I just feel like you're talking to a wall all day. I kind of feel like that when I do my reading. Not really. He's so noisy as soon as it goes to break. I guess it's like recess. It goes outside and he's yelling and hollering. So let's see what something bigger than ourselves has to say to you. I have his door closed too. All right, Pisces. A message to you from archangels. A message to Pisces from archangels. The archangel that came out for you is outdoors. Archangel Jophiel. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. I don't know where you are. I took Lily for a walk this morning. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to get frostbite on my face. So cold, and I was bundled up. But of course, my face was kind of like, I had a hat and hood, but the wind was intense. I don't know. I think it's about -26 with the wind chill right now. So it's pretty cold. But still, the fresh air felt good. It did feel good. Even if you're somewhere where it's super, super cold, you're being reminded, particularly, I think, like when the sun is out, take advantage. Take advantage of when the sun is out. Right now, where I am, like yesterday, I tell you, it was like somebody got a paintbrush with heavy, thick gray paint and painted it over the sky. And it just looked perpetually all day like the sun had set 5 minutes ago. It was just terrible. But now it's really, really sunny. So it is kind of like, you know what, take advantage of these opportunities for your health. The outdoors is really important for you. Even if that's sitting on a balcony, out of the wind, sitting on a front porch, just whatever you can do to get, you know, the oxygen is so important. I always found when I was in college that if I took the bus in to college from where I was like renting a place, if I took the bus in, I never performed as well on tests as opposed to if I rode my bike in. And I really, that just as like a late teen, I thought there's something to that. There's got to be something about getting all that fresh oxygen going into your body and it going into your mind, because it's like it's talking right here about okay, relieve your stress. So even too, like that, being able to go into a situation where you're gonna be kind of stressed, like you're gonna be doing a test. Will I recall everything? Will I be able to do well? And gain new creative ideas. So like it gets the mind flowing. That's how important that is for you. All is well. Archangel Jeremiah is at the bottom. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. Teaching and learning. Archangel Zachiel. Keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. Okay, everything is happening. So there could be some things that you're going through that like, well, why am I tumbling down the hill, Cindy? because you're going to learn something from this, and you're going to be able to impart that knowledge onto others, literally. So, right, that's kind of how life goes. Really interesting. I might dig into the rabbit and the egg a little deeper if I don't get more insight from these, because sometimes I feel like I get almost two separate readings for you guys doing this. Oh, I'm sure I'll put more wax in my mouth. All right, so we're going to look at the obstacle you are facing, how this obstacle is showing up in your life, hidden factor or factors that you are unaware of, and what can help you grow right now. Okay, so the obstacle that you are facing is the messenger of water. So some sort of communication. You're not able to communicate about something. I mean, it's an obstacle. Or somebody's, I'm also getting too, like somebody's almost communicating too much with you. So it's kind of funny how this is coming in. It feels like there's something that you want to communicate or some sort of information that you would like to impart onto someone else, but you can't for whatever reason. And part of that, though, it feels a bit like whatever that reason. For some of you, it might be that there's a lot of others that you are communicating with right now instead. You know, like a priority, almost, you know, a very simple way of giving an example of that is, let's say you're at work and you're having a really, really busy day and you're realizing, oh, I need to tell my husband and my wife, pick up a pizza on the way home because I didn't pull anything out to cook tonight. And they're going to be the ones getting home first. But every time you go to impart that information, you get interrupted by, oh, no, we need this done right now. Okay, so before you know it, it's too late, so nobody's eating. So it just feels like there's some level of communication that's being blocked for you. I'm going to just keep shuffling. Okay. That was weird. I've never heard split the deck now. Okay. Split it now, Cindy. How is this showing up in your life? The Three of Fire, the Three of Wands. It leaves you kind of feeling like expecting. Always expecting, never receiving. Hidden factors that you were unaware of. The Star, you're shining. Something you're going to shine. You're going to be like the golden egg. You are the golden egg. The golden egg, the golden ticket. Willy Wonka. You were almost like a golden ticket blowing in the wind, heading towards Willy Wonka. What can help you grow right now? The Chariot. Movement. I really feel like getting outside. Get some exercise. So I feel like a nag, don't I? Come on, get off the chair. Go outside. Get some fresh air. The Nine of Fire. Which is the Nine of Wands, but it really doesn't feel like that in this card. Oh, stars. She's holding all these stars, right? The hidden factor that you are unaware of are the stars. Oh. The hidden factor that you are unaware of are the stars. So there's something playing out astrologically that's kind of got you in some sort of rhythm with fate. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Oh, yeah, that is the tarot. That's weird. Why did I feel like that? Like I was supposed to pick up another jack, but there isn't another jack there. Does it feel like there's almost something missing that you're supposed to be using? It's a really funny reading. Okay, I want to say that I feel like on some level, some of you do, I feel like, well, if you're resonating with this, I just got to say, you're tumbling down the hill. Here you go. You have sort of, in a way too, created something of yourself that would have initially started out as a dream, an idea, a fantasy, a hope. And you've brought that into some sort of fruition. Like here you are. But now you are appearing as a golden egg going to the rabbit. Now the rabbit typically is not who we would identify as waiting for an egg, but it does. In the right story, the rabbit and the egg do go together. And we're talking about stars and astrologically speaking here. So there's something playing out in sort of a fated way. Also, remember, all is well, right? This also kind of amplifies that. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. So the blessings are hidden. The blessings are hidden. Keep an open mind and learn new ideas, and then teach these ideas to others. So part of the hidden blessings could be whatever difficulty you were going through, whatever period of life you feel like you don't have particularly maybe a lot of control over what is going on right now. That's all playing out for you to be kind of put into lessons that you would normally not just go to on your own. Right? Like rolling down that hill, you're going to things that you would normally not go to on your own. There is some sort of destination involved with this. The messenger of water is an obstacle. So you're not able to communicate. You may even, this comes up for Pisces sometimes, because I think you're one of the more really psychic out of all of the signs. That you may even be finding like your guides aren't communicating to you about certain things. It feels like there's like a heavier veil than normal right now. So, as you're kind of tumbling down the hill, thinking, well, why are my guides not telling me why? Where's this going? What I need to be prepared for? Because you're kind of meant to learn this on your own without guidance. You're meant to kind of take on these lessons and assimilate it the way you would just assimilate it, as your little soul is going to do that. So how's it showing up in your life? I feel like it's got you wanting more, like expecting, always expecting. I'm hearing always expecting and never receiving. Interesting. So I'm getting a vision of the golden egg as you're kind of rolling down the hill here. Almost like a snowball effect. You are receiving as you go down the hill. You're receiving knowledge, you're receiving experience, you're receiving definitely likely like maybe some hardship, some confusion, but all of that is like a gift in itself for you to alchemize into something different, because this is the factor that you aren't aware of. Is how much is actually going to make you shine? How much is actually going to make you successful? How much is actually going to help you heal? Always expecting and never receiving. Could this rabbit even be you too? Like a dualistic message coming in here, like, standing at the bottom of the hill and always expecting but never receiving. I mean, and you could be tied up in some things too, and someone else could always be expecting but never receiving with you. Funny how that plays out. Now, what can help you grow right now? I want to say this is almost allowing yourself to tumble down the hill, to allow yourself to move forward. Where do you have movement right now? Where do you have movement? Where do you have choice to move? Maybe it is a balcony, maybe it is a porch. But that's your place, and that's an important place though for you. Fresh air and some outdoor time is really important for you. Remember that. Like maybe you're spending a lot of time online as well. Yeah, when we see these guys, I'm going to look right at the rabbit and the golden egg now. Okay, the golden egg. The golden egg. The Ace of Swords. Well, actually, no. I don't know which one came out first. I don't know. The Seven of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So this is going from completely hidden truth that could have been stolen from you. Truth that could be completely stolen or hidden from you. To finding like the truth, to really understanding what the truth here is in your in your own situation. It's funny, isn't it, how it's so yellow in the Seven of Swords, like it is like the golden egg. Okay, now I'm seeing like with this, the egg is almost with the sword. It is reminding me of Excalibur, right? Was that King Arthur's the Excalibur, the sword and the rock. And only one person could truly pull that out. But this journey is really, really unique because I really gotta say, I feel like you're going through some sort of intuitive block. But it's leading you to your truth. Yeah, there's a lot being hidden here. A ton of stuff that's purposefully being hidden from you right now. So, you know, one of the ways to kind of look at that in a positive light is that you are on the cusp of completing some sort of major lesson here. Because when it comes to a point where, you know, your intuition won't give you an answer, your guides won't give you an answer, you can't quite get exactly what it is that you're looking for out of a reading, another psychic, however you want to look at that. It's because you are not supposed to be influenced right now. It's an important point in your soul's growth and journey to make decisions for yourself that are not influenced by outside sources. So I feel like when that kind of comes in a reading, you're pretty close to completing something here. Maybe the egg is meant to crack open and then you hatch out. Like a rebirth, Easter, a rebirth. Yeah. I don't know when Easter is this year. Always has to do astrologically, right? With the moon. So yeah, this is definitely something it's faded. The control of this is literally in the hands of like the universe. The movement of the planets, the energetic flow. Okay, this rabbit, the rabbit, tired of waiting. I'm really tired of waiting. Rabbit is really tired of waiting. I feel like this is on some levels, like again, I said, it feels like a dualistic message. Like for some of you, I feel like you're tumbling towards something. This something's been waiting and waiting and waiting. And for others of you, I feel like it also shows up as you, like even just trying to get to the bottom of this hill, and then your egg cracks open and then you can hatch out and have a rebirth. Well, Easter. I'm hearing Easter. Which year? I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, obstacle that you were facing, messenger of water. Holy Major Arcana. Yeah, you can't. No. Nobody's going to show you anything. You got the Justice, the Strength card, and the Sun. Okay, so there's almost two, like it feels like the obstacle that you are facing, it might even be some some form of communication that's not coming into you, that's going to show you, going to bring great balance into your life. It's going to show you that everything that's been difficult that you've worked through, that you've labored through, that you've self-controlled through, that you've patienced through, is going to bring you to your happiest, brightest days. Now, what's very, very curious is that the Sun card, if I count, this clarifier, has appeared 3 times through the zodiac readings as the obstacle that you were facing. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting. Here it is again, but it's come out as a clarifier, but it still is in that position. We are not seeing the clarity and the movement and feeling the warmth and the hope of a brighter day, of a newer cycle here, where we can feel very free, carefree. That's blocked. But again, it's all Major Arcana, so this is not something that you or I have a great capacity to change. It's locked in. It's locked into some sort of destined energy. So this is how it's showing up. The 3 of Fire. I feel like always waiting, never receiving. Three of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Always waiting, never receiving. two pretty major elements of your life, like always waiting, never receiving. But how is it showing up? I feel like it's showing up like it's somehow reflective of this as well. That there's a time and place for everything, I'm hearing. So there's a time and place for whatever this is, but you're not there yet. This feels like it has something to do much more with emotional fulfillments, dreams and wishes, fantasies coming true. Where there's a time and place for everything. This feels like the time and place that you're in. Because the golden egg, again, you could even say like it's like an ace of pentacles. Like it's a very earthly energy. Because it's here right now. It's here right now. It's tangible. It's real. And that's like the King of Pentacles. So it has something to do, a lot to do with, you know, how you're seen in your community, how you're seen in your family unit, what kind of support you offer to that, being stable, being there, having the broad shoulders when the broad shoulders are sort of needed. And then the Three of Cups. So this is, I mean, like kind of coming in with some level of celebration, but you may also be kind of waiting to connect with someone. You could be waiting to connect with someone. This person could have, I don't know what's going on. It's just the dry air, or it's really intuition is going. That's why I know it's so itchy. There could be like waiting to come together here with someone who's a Taurus, who has a lot of earth in their chart. Someone who's could be someone who's a father. It could be a mother too. I mean, yeah. Even if your partner, like, I don't know, if you have a partner and this reading is still resonating, it just feels like perhaps either one or both of you are really occupied with things right now. And you really have to kind of look after the things that, you know, physically need to be looked after right now. And you're not being shown this. But the hidden factor here is, at the end of the day, tumbling down the hill is not actually an injury. So I'm getting that tumbling down the hill is removing all of the, just so almost like exfoliating. It's almost like it's exfoliating and removing all of the scabs and the dead skin, the loose ends of like a healing process too with the star. But you are really shining. You are creating your abundance through perhaps hardship and difficulty. That's really interesting because I think like the whole world is going through such a similar experience right now in their own unique way. And I think a big part of that is healing and alchemizing a lot of things from the past. So it will be interesting when we come out on the other end of this, when at some point we will. Actually, interesting fact. So I learned today that the bubonic plague, do you know that every year, approximately 9 people in the United States of America still get the bubonic plague? But because of antibiotics, like, you know, they're okay. So that's so interesting, right? Something that killed hundreds of millions of people. But right now, it's like, as long as we got the antibiotic for it, it's okay. That's interesting, right? Like perspective. Who you are at the top of that hill, who you were at the top of that hill as you were been tumbling down is going to be quite different from who you are at the bottom of the hill. What is it? It was about 600 years since the first time the bubonic plague really struck. And if people could have imagined now that you just need to get an antibiotic and you'll be okay. Yeah, like what a difference. What a difference time makes. What a difference time makes, which is why you're kind of being held in fate's arms. Okay, the star, the hidden factor that you were unaware of. Wow, the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. This feels like tumbling down the hill and removing conflict from your life, removing anything that's not going to be conducive to when you go to the bottom and the egg breaks open and you hatch out. The hidden factor. You're going to shine beyond, you're going to come up above this difficult energy. 2 5s here. I mean, it's something that needs to be transformed and changed. And that's what's occurring. That's what's happening. are probably happening in a very indirect way. So at first we don't necessarily notice it. The first thing that we notice is our own pain and suffering, or yeah. Oh, that's bringing something up, but I haven't read it enough to talk about. Like I need to read it twice, I think. I'm still going through my book, The Sapiens, which I've mentioned for a few months now, because I'll sit and I'll read a chapter of it. It's fascinating. And I'm in the section right now where they're talking about humanity and worshiping gods and God, and just the different ways of looking at that. And I was talking about Buddhism, because that's very unique in that it's not worshiping God, and it's not worshiping gods, or really, it's just talking about how we react to our environment is actually how we create our world. It's not necessarily that suffering is being bestowed upon us by some angry God or some sort of bad energy. It could be more energetically related. But you see, I can't go too deep in it. I have to read it a couple of times. It was really fascinating. Anyway, so, okay, that's that. So it is indirect. It's sort of, like coming to terms with realizing it's a lesson. It is what it is. It is neither bad nor good. It is how I perceive it and how I allow that to affect me. What can help you grow right now? The Chariot. Oh, yeah. Keep doing this pentacle thing. I don't know what it is to you. The Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. You may be working sort of very individually here. Yeah, that's a really singular energy. Put the work in. You're succeeding here. You are succeeding. It just feels like maybe there's an awful lot of emphasis on this kind of energy, where this is, I feel like, what your heart really desires. It's going to get there. But there's almost as if, you know what feels like this is going on here for you with this kind of the way the pentacles are coming in as a necessity. I can even say this for everyone right now. But if you're building yourself up in some way, if it's financially, if you're getting yourself really healthy, you are protected. So with the Nine of Pentacles, you are also protected. You might even be bored sometimes because you are serving the more physical needs in your world right now. And as you're doing that, though, I feel like you're creating something that's going to be physically unbreakable, so that when you get here, this has nothing to do except grow and flourish and be nurtured the way that you want to nurture it. Because, you know, if this ends up in an environment that is unstable, that is unpredictable, that there's the possibility of great loss, it's very difficult for this more emotional level of human fulfillment to flourish. So I hope that helps you out. I'm talking like this. I don't know. So the Knight of Swords is at the bottom. Just want to charge ahead. Just want to charge forward. I feel like a lot of us do. I know I do. I go up and down all the time. Like up and down, round and round. And then I'll find something, like you're trying to give me some perspective. I'm done your reading now. So you don't have to listen to this part. I'm going to go do the extended. But I wish I could remember what it's called. You know what? Maybe I'll put a link to it at the bottom. I'll put it at the bottom of the description of this video, so it's not easily confused with all the other links. Right at the bottom. My son, he's been watching these couple of channels on YouTube, and I kind of discovered it by accident what they were. So he was playing online. He was gaming with a couple of friends one day. And I guess the game that they were playing was taking place in Mississippi. So, you know, the state in the U.S., which he was quite openly telling his friends about. So I'm kind of walking by his room, going to the laundry room, as I don't know, it feels like there's so much laundry. And yeah, he pipes up and he says, yeah, Mississippi, that's a state in the that's a state in the U.S. And then he says, yes, and it was also the last state to abolish slavery. And I stopped dead in my tracks at that point. He's 11, and we live in Canada. So this is not part of his school curriculum, I'm sure. So I'm like, what the hell? How does he know that? So Anyway, so I waited until he was done playing. I think it was at dinner. I brought it up. I said, so I heard something interesting today. How do you know that? And he said, oh, I saw it online. I said, how do you see that online? So he showed me these two channels that he watches, and they're really quite fascinating. So I've been learning all sorts of stuff on them. Oh, then he was telling me about a war almost broke out about a pig up in Alaska. So I think so. He can give you all the details on this. It's quite interesting. And so then I watched, so I've been getting into it and watching it, and it's really, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, like distractions to give you perspective. So I always think like history and time are really good for giving us a perspective on where we sit in things. So I was watching the population dynamics of China. That's really interesting as well. It's like 94% of the Chinese population lives in like 40% of the land mass. It's all to the east. All to the east. They're all like jammed in there. See, I never knew that because I think like China's a pretty big land mass. So I think it's the third. Is it the third largest? Because Russia's the first, Canada's the second, and I think China was the third. So you think it's a pretty big landmass for other people. No, they're all shoved into 40% because the rest is like desert. There's 4% of people living out there, and there's not much you can do with it. And it's been like that for a long time. So I learned that. That's really interesting. And then I learned about Japan. So Japan's population is shrinking astronomically. Really, really interesting. I think right now they have the highest rate. They are ranked number one for, you know, how long it's predicted that you will likely live there. I think the average is 88 years old as an average, right? Like I think there's like 5% of the population that's over 100. And then there's like 10% that's over 90. And then there's like 30% that's over 80. Like it's just really incredible. Actually, it's really kind of sad. Yeah, it was really sad. Like some of the stuff that they were talking about that, so pretty much nobody, very few people are having children in Japan, because they have to work so hard. And really, because it's such a small, younger population compared to such a larger, older population. And of course, right, like the money that those people may go into social programs to be able to, but some of these people are working 80, 90 hours a week and just barely getting by. They don't have time for relationships. They did a poll, they did a study, and I believe it was it 10%? Oh shit, now I'm not sure. Was it 10% or 1 in 10? Was it 1 in 10 or 10%? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But it was enough that it was concerning of people aged 30 that had never had sex. They have never had sex. That many people, young people in Japan have never had sex yet, and they're still 30. But it's not because, you know, they're practicing some sort of spiritual abstinence. It's because they're working 80 to 90 hours a day, and they just don't have time. They don't have time. They don't have the energy. And that's just so sad, because I just think like Japan has such an interesting culture, but I really don't think a lot of the people there are getting to enjoy it. So anyways, this was that. And then I watched a thing on the bubonic plague while I was working out this morning, and that was interesting. I mean, a lot of us already know it has to do with the fleas that run the rats and blah, 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 blah. But the bubonic plague, there were 3 big instances of it separated by hundreds of years. I think the first one was in the mid-1300s. And then the second one, I don't remember when that was. Was it the 15 or 1600s? That one was bad. That one was really bad. And that one was bad. What happened? There was somebody fighting somewhere. And they decided, the people that were, I guess, trying to get over some wall or conquer some group of people, they had the plague going on. You know what they did? They started catapulting their dead bodies over the wall. And they're saying, like, this is, you know, one of the first recorded instances of biological warfare. Really? So they ended up giving the plague to those people. And those people that were behind the walls said, screw this. So they went back home to Italy. And it just was like wildfire that second time. It was really bad. And then, so then the third time was in the mid-1800s, actually. In, I can't remember where it started that time. I don't think it was China, but it was somewhere around there. But then it hit like India and China really, really bad. I mean, that's when they ended it. And they said that, what is it? About 9 people every year get the bubonic plague in the US. So I imagine that that's, you know, there's numbers like that throughout the world. But because of the antibiotics, it's okay. So anyways, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. There's so much I learned. Just, I'm going to put there's 2 websites there's 2 channels that he watches, so I'll put that in there. Anyway, so yeah. So that's all I got going on. Oh, I'm going to go do the extended Pisces. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.